So I found out my ratio was 1.5 extractors to every processor. Now I can't place half extractors, so I'm going to bump that up to the next full number, which would be 3 extractors per 2 processors. It's pretty simple math. Now I've gone ahead and placed those on my field here, and you notice that I'm trying not to waste any space. So the idea here is that these 3 extractors will store their materials in this launchpad. Then this launchpad will send the materials to these processors. They will process it into our final product, and then they will spit that back into the launchpad. Every once in a while that launchpad will fill up, and we'll shoot it up, and you'll pick up the materials, and you'll have everything you need. You can drop that off at the station or in the ship maintenance tray, wherever we designate for the certain system that you're in. Now, to create the links that we need, you're actually going to want to set up most of your extractors first, because the way you're going to set up your links is from each extractor to the next, and then to the launchpad. But there happens to be a maximum number of links that you can go through before attaching to that launchpad. Now, I'm going to go ahead and set up at least 3 more of these extractors, maybe more. So now that I've set up my extractors, I realize that I have 12 here, which means I actually need 6 more extractors based on, 6 more processors based on the ratio I came up with earlier. So I'm going to go ahead and place those. So now that I have the correct number of extractors and processors, I'm going to go ahead and create the links. The easiest way to do this is to pick 6 extractors that are near the others, and think of a way to route them through each other and have the result right next to your launchpad. Now let me go ahead and do this through 6 of these, and I will go ahead and show you the easiest way to do it. Click your links. It says no links present. Create new. Done. Repeat that step to go here, and then here, and then here, and then here, etc. So I've gone ahead and created the links on the first 6 of my extractors, and I've gone, actually this would be the first one, all the way through to there, and then finally to the launchpad. Now don't forget to link it to the launchpad. So the idea here is that this is linked through these all the way to here, including all of these in its path. Now I'll go ahead and complete the links for the next 6. Now that I've created the links for the last 6 of my extractors, you'll see the path here, all the way from this first point through the rest of the extractors and right next to the launchpad and directly into the launchpad. Now I'm going to want to link my processors to the launchpad. What you would normally do is click Link, Create Link, and you'd click right on the launchpad. The problem is that the links I've created, which use power, have made it so I don't have any more power left. So if I try to create this link, it's going to shoot me an error, which I will show you now. What I'm going to have to do then is delete one of my processors. Now, you could delete 2 processors, you could delete an extractor. What you're going to have to do is just think about it and figure out the best way to free up resources while still yielding the most. So I've gone ahead and gotten rid of the extractor, the processor that was right here. Now I go ahead and link these to the launchpad. So now I've finished linking all of my processors to the launchpad. I can hit submit. Notice that I've used most of the power. What you want to do is set up enough of these sets of the ratio we talked about before to use all of your power. Now, of course, like before, if you use too many, you're not going to be able to create the links, and you'll have to delete some. So it's a game where you try to balance your setup. So once I hit submit, the links will finalize. And the next step I'm going to want to do is finish the surveys on all of these extractors. Now, the easiest way to do this is double click. It will automatically start surveying. And again, I'm going to use the 5-hour cycle because that fits my playstyle. I go ahead and hit install. Now, you realize that it's not rooted. What does that mean? Well, not only do you have to link, but you actually have to route these materials to whatever storage facility there is. So that's going to be our launchpad. So first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and go through and complete the survey on all of these extractors. So now that I've finally completed all the surveys on each of these and selected the cycle time that I wanted to use, we can go ahead and realize now that they're still not rooted. Now to root, you can click your products and it'll bring up what you're harvesting and the amount, and it'll tell you it's not rooted. To root it, just double click that and realize it says there's no destination. Now, one thing I'll say is that with links, you go from one extractor to the other extractor and through a chain and end up at your launch pad. But with routing, you just click the one that you're on and you route that directly to the launch pad. You see now the temperate launch pad is selected and you hit create route. You'll do the same thing for each of these extractors. A couple things to notice though is that once you hover over here, each time you route materials through this chain of links you've created, it takes up a percent, and that will end up running out. And if it runs out before you get to the end of your chain, you have to upgrade your links. So I'm going to go ahead and start going through these, and I'm going to keep the video rolling so you can see how the percentages change. Products, double click, destination. So real quick here, you notice that the first one, this link here is only holding the materials that this one is harvesting. It's sending those materials to this second extractor. Now you'll notice that the link between these two is doubled because it takes the materials it is harvesting and also the materials this is harvesting and links them to this. So once you get through the chain, the very end will have to be upgraded if you go over your 100%.